Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We went from last night. There was like a bunch of people standing. You couldn't get into the whole front over here. People went to America. Avi's gone for how long?
A week. He's back.
Oh, he's back this week. And you?
He's
no, but how long are you going for? Also till Friday? That's great. Okay, good news. My father-in-law, Reb Meir Fischel, learning the daf on the flight to Florida Friday morning. I was so inspired seeing him learning. I guess it's not this past Friday. Learning the daf even after a night of little sleep following Yom Kippur, and then on an early morning flight that I also took out my Gemara and started to learn. Inspiring on it. Daf in the shir is always a must for him. Every day, no matter the hour, his day cannot go by without doing the daf. The favorite son-in-law. This is, I think, in Muncie. Where's this shul? Or Chaim. Daf Yomi with Eli Stefansky, right next to the Ribnitz Rebbe, and my favorite spot, the right corner. Oh, Staten Island getting back on track right away. Got together after Shabbos to watch Daf Lamed Dalid. Look at this, our favorite. He's wearing glasses now, but I think it's him. Shkoyach. Rebbe, it was a pleasure having you in the sukkah, and it's sad to see you go.
Once again, it was awesome having you in my sukkah, but back to the basement.
At least it's not a magazine cover.
Your Talmud and Chassid Dov Eisenberger in New Jersey. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem. Starting to fill up. Lot. Mateh, come here. We have a seat, mamish, for you, right over here. Rabbi say Mazel Tov to Moshe Fleischer from Lakewood on the bar mitzvah of your son Avrumi. Avrumi has been with us, I think, for 4 Masechtas already. Father and son finished together Masechtas Makis with MDY for the bar mitzvah. So tremendous Mazel Tov. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Mori, Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv. The Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous, Lili Lishmas Doidi Shlomi Yehuda Ben Shmuel Chaim Asher Shogav Lomen Kochim Kol Chayav. Anonymous, L'Schus Refuah Shleimo Nochem Tzvi Ben Yenta. Sponsored by Skyber Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki and Shamshi Shlarvak for their devotion to Torah study and this year. Joe Gedalius, Lili Lishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous, Haslach Baruch Nis Uvagashmis, MDY Coffee Corner, month. Rivka and Dr. Avram Epstein, daven for a complete and speedy recovery for Dr. Harold Goldmeyer. Monthly sponsors, Anonymous from London, Parnos B'Shefa. Anonymous, Baruch HaZbelidah Yudam Yom Merchava and Baruch, Tzinisim and Shoshana Leah. Anonymous, the Shon Toivim, Metugo, the Schus Aliyob and Chai Dvaira, and in honor of Mechavrusa Simchala. Mentzi and Glicksman, Mazel Tov to Talia on her birthday. Urge her for Shleimo for Chaim Yosef, Ariel Ben Sarah Reisel. Weekly sponsors, Anonymous for a winter filled with growth. Daily sponsors, Lance Solar, Lili Nishmas Chaya Bas Tzion Bas Sorleya on her yahrzeit. Anonymous, Lili Nishmas, my dear uncle, Nisim Ben Masuda, today marks his 3rd year yahrzeit. Yaakov Chaim Pilchik, Mazel Tov to my dear brother and MDY Daf Inspiration, Mendel Pilchik, on the birth of a baby girl. Mazel Tov, and check this out. Mendel Pilchik with gratitude to Hashem for a healthy, beautiful baby girl. These are 2 brothers, I guess, who do the daf, and they know about each other. Not like those other 2 brothers that I met in Borough Park, that they only knew about each other at that gathering. It was Givaldic. Another big part of MDY, Neil and Judith Halpern, Dr. Halpern, Lili Nishmas, Neil's beloved father, Rav David Zanvil Ben Shlomo Zeichet Tzadik Baruch on his yahrzeit. He was a Rav in Mill Basin for years. Neil Halpern, he's I forgot what he is. He's in charge of like some big thing in Sloan Kettering. He's the head of a department, I think. I forgot the exact. MDYR, it's monthly, Refuah Shleimo for Yehonatan Eitan Ben Basheva Bracha. That was a shock that he was sitting right over here the other day. Refuah Shleimo Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Hayela, Daniel Zev Ben Hayelet Esther. Boisai, Geshmaki Sugyo. 5 lines from the bottom of the Amud Aleph on the base. Yesterday,
That's Monastery.
Oh, so we have Monastery, top right corner, Givaldic, in Flatbush. We have Phoenix, Arizona somewhere. We should have. That's them on the top left corner. They don't do Snapple in Arizona. You know what they do? Arizona.
The bottom is
Oh! The Leaf Snapple for Los Angeles. Arizona for Arizona. Givaldic. And what do you guys have on the top and the bottom? What's that?
Looks like Chicago.
No, you're exaggerating. That's Chicago when I'm there. When I'm there, no. What's on the now the guys and I had enough. There's certain people in my mishpacha like, how come you have to always talk down about Chicago? Chas v'shalom. No, who is that? Who are you guys? Just say, that's LA? Oh, that's LA. Where's the Snapple? Oh, and it's Nachi over there. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay. Woo! Givaldic. Okay. Now we're neck and neck. Baruch Hashem, we have a real race going on. 25, seriously, we have 25 locations in Eretz Yisrael, and 25 locations right over here. It's good. Right? 25 locations in Chutz La'aretz. Rabbi Isai, this is what is going on here. This looks like the Amma. This looks good. Basically, there's a water stream, a live stream that goes right through the Azara, as you can see it over here.
Live stream the Beis Hamikdash.
Is it? He said there's live stream in the Beis Hamikdash too.
There you
go. He loves using up his aura right in the beginning.
Yeah, he's using on it right away.
And those you can see that on the side, the two holes. I guess he's showing it goes straight in. I don't know where he got that from. Anyway, the idea is that Poikikim we plug up. I didn't understand exactly. If there's like a real stream going through, how exactly are you going to plug it up? But we plug up the main drainage. Hold on.
It went down much deeper. It was much deeper.
What?
It wasn't right there. The holes in the Mizbech went all the way down.
Yeah, but was there water that you could grab right there in the Beis Hamikdash, in the Azara?
I don't know, but the blood went much further down, and the wine went further down.
What am I looking for?
Say it, says somebody else. What is this?
Anyway, Rabbi Yehuda says it looked something like this. That there was a lot of blood there. Up to their knees. Yoshi did this based on a picture. So Tanya, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, there was so much blood on the floor from there was millions of karbanos. Every person in Klal Yisrael brought a carbon pesach, had to be part of a carbon pesach. And the concern is that perhaps some carbon didn't get a chance to have zrika, and it's on the floor, it's in this big pool of blood. So you take one cup, hopefully there's a big, it just includes a drop from every single carbon, and you do a quick zrika on the bottom of the mizbeach. But there's a few technical problems here. So this is just I'm showing this, don't even look at the first part. It's not so gishmak. But is this okay or not okay? Hold on, Ari, you know the answer, don't answer. Oh. Could I use this blood for Zrika? No, why not? At the first, you have to catch it in the cup first. So, if this animal was shechted and there was no Kabbalah Saddam in a vessel, what good is it that you're going to grab one vessel of blood and toss it on the Mizbeach? Says Gemara says, B'no Yadi. How do you know that there was a carbon like that? Maybe it wasn't a kli and then it fell on the floor. You're right, I don't know for sure there was such a carbon, but maybe. No. I was talking about that there was a real Kabbalah. But maybe out of the million of Kabbalahs, there's three groups of Yisrael, and it's just a big mess, and there's a big, what's the word? Pandemonium. Pandemonium. It's crazy what's going on there. Everybody's in and out, karbanos, noise, mad, times a million, I don't know if it's good. It was Erev Pesach. Chaos. Thank you. Oh, Ashi's here. But how did Rabbi Yehuda know that it fell out of the kli? Maybe the blood came out of the neck of the animal. Says the Gemara, Kohanim's reason va'avdin hayo mishtapchen. The Kohanim, they work so fast, they're very, very quick, and therefore, within, because they're so speedy, it must be that some of the blood fell out. Here we have a video. We're going to work on these. They're going to get better, I hope, in the future. But right now, here we go.
קבלו את הכהנים! קבלו אותם! הם כל כך מהירים, הכי מהיר שיש!
אוי לא, הכל נשפך.
Anyway, Kohanim's reason 8. There's a few we're doing a lot of chazara today. One of the big rabbanim, they used to sleep very little. So somebody asked him, it's against the Rambam. The Rambam says you have to sleep 8 hours. So he says, a lot of people, they walk very quickly, they run quickly. I sleep quickly. There's reason. Zog the Gemara. Oh, Kim Tzaran, we have a lot of room today. Oh, it's starting to fill up. Here, we have 2 seats. Come. One here, one there. Where else do we have? We have 2. You want to sit together? Right here in the front. Kim, no, Kim Tzaran, come this way. We're going to make room for you. No, Bemis. Come. You came from Yerushalayim? Where did you come from? You see, I can tell. Come. No, don't worry. You're not going to stand up the whole shit. The cameras go over there also. Trust me. Avrami, don't embarrass them. Come. No. All right, don't. Oh. So the problem is, you have a whole pool of blood here. This pool of blood. There's a lot of animals that after the shechita, they fall down on the floor and they bleed out. Part of the blood that comes out is the final blood that's called dam tamsis that's not kosher for the zrika. And there's a lot of that blood, a lot. And a lot of that blood could actually be mevatel, the other blood maybe. Maybe there's a roiv of the other blood. Says the Gemara, dam tamsis kari dam. No, dam tamsis is considered real blood. The sign dam tamsis b'azara. How do you know that if you eat it, you eat that blood, you get kares like any other blood? Rabbi Yehuda Omer b'kares. It's not just a warning. It's kares. So the Gemara asks, but Rabbi Yehuda agrees that this is not blood that you can use on the mizbeach. It has to be the blood that the neshama goes out with, not the leftover blood, the initial blood. And Mamela, since it's not good for zrika, asks the Gemara, this is not blood that the neshama goes out with. And if it's not blood that the neshama goes out with, there's a lot of this blood on the floor. So how's it going to work? How's it going to help you if you use that blood for zrika? It's actually going to pass the other blood. There is some blood in there that's good blood, that's good neshama shat, the blood that the neshama is totally in it. And that blood is not going to be mizbatel. What about the bad blood, so to speak, the damatamtzis? So Taisis, if you look on top, he says some lashon over here that's islay royin, you pretend that it's water, he says. Okay. You're using, within the blood, there's some good blood that's good for zrika, there's some bad blood, bad blood, it's min b'minoi, it's not mizbatel, and at the end of the day you have good blood, and with that good blood you're doing zrika. If we're not going to take a scoop full of blood from the ground, from the floor, and that it's all mixed in with everybody's carbon and do one final zrika, so what's the point of plugging up the azara? This is a beautiful thing. Oh, I think it was this one. That's what it is. Let me see. Here we go. They do a cap. You plug it up. Oh, you can even see some of the stones there. I just noticed stones in the floor. Okay. Here we are. Let's see the stone in the floor. Oh, those are tables. Okay. The point is that it was a cover for them to walk. This is blood that was done for Shechita, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so it was a cover for them to walk in that blood. Ask the Gemara, V'dam chava chatzitza. But you have to be stepping directly on the floor of the Azara. Isn't this getting in the way? Isn't it blocking your foot from stepping directly on the stone? Says the Gemara, no, when it comes to liquid, it doesn't create a chatzitza. Lachu. V'lo have a chatzitza. Any liquid does not create a chatzitza. The snan, hadam, vadyoy. I saw a gewaldige story of Moshe Feinstein. He was driving somewhere, and one of his talmidim took him. And as the Talmud does, takes the Rebbe, makes sure he gets into the car, and closes the door. The problem is that he closed the door on his fingers, smashed his fingers. And Moshe didn't say a thing. He was in tremendous pain, and he was bleeding. And the whole car ride, he just held himself. He was like he's going to faint, but he didn't want to embarrass this guy. He felt that this is going to embarrass the bacher, and he when he got home, he got into his house and he just collapsed on the couch. And the Rebbe saw him. She saw he's bleeding, so he said, "I'm going to call the doctor." He says, "Yeah, but you have to make sure that he drives away. That he won't chop." And I was thinking, Lachamei V'Eshrin, they'll say similar things about me. There's a guy in the shir.
Took food.
Maybe blew his nose a little bit too loud, whatever it is, and I was mamish, controlled myself. Huh?
I thought you were going to say the story about Moshe and the Diyoy. You didn't say that. Yeah.
The Diyoy. Okay, so I'll say the story about. Okay, I'm getting there. Rav Moshe Feinstein once he got a beautiful Gemara. And Rav Nissen Halpern came to look at it. Halpert.
No H.
Alpert. Rav Nissen Halpert leaned over and poured the whole ink all over his Gemara. Shalom Aleichem, blue ink. So Rav Moshe said, what was the lashon? How beautiful. This is mamish.
Beautiful, made it look better. Improved it.
Yeah.
Actually,
seriously, I have blue ink somewhere. I'm not joking. One of here it is. Right over here. Mamish, I made it better. I don't know if you could you zoom in? Avrami. It's mamish. Story after story is mamish matching up here. I don't know. You can't see?
No.
It's right over here. Blue ink. It drove me crazy when I got there. It was from last cycle. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Huh?
The price of Dam not being a chatzitza is because you're putting it in a mikvah, which is water.
What mikvah? No, it's on the bottom. It's in the.
He's saying in general.
The price of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dam and vash.
Yeah. Right.
You're putting it in the mikvah, which is water.
Okay.
Right? So
Here you go on the floor.
You're going to wash it away. But here, it's just the floor.
You're saying it should be chatzitza even though it's liquid? Answer your gosh. I hear.
Congealed is a problem.
Right.
So what's the difference between congealed and not?
Well, congealed is worse. Maybe you didn't have time to congeal. They're all walking there. They didn't have time to congeal.
No, that's. But what's the difference? He's asking.
He's
Okay.
saying it should be a problem.
Should
It should be a problem.
He's saying it's not a good riot from over there. Over there's. Where are we? Hadam, vadyoy, vadvash, vacholov. Ink, honey, milk. Yivation chatzim, when they dry up, that's considered a blockage. It's chatzitza. There's a. How do they call it in English? When there's not a separate. They have a real word, a chatzitza word in English. One of those words that you need a art scroll for the art scroll. A what? Interposition. Yeah, interposition. Right. So, what's your name? Shalom. Oh, that's right. Rabbi Pliskin's son. That's right. Okay, got it. How's he doing? You got my message?
Yeah.
Okay, gewaldig. Going stark every day. Shalom Aleichem Tate. Everybody, we all Talmidim, we all Reb Zelig, we all read his books.
Guard your tongue.
Guard your tongue. That one I rather didn't read.
That's why I said that one.
Oy, boy.
We know.
Ask the Gemara, but his clothing are going to get dirty. If a kohen's clothing are dirty and he does the avodah, avodah psula. So how could this picture is not a good picture then? Right over here. Look at it, it's dirty. They can't do the avodah like that. You'll say that they lifted it up. We had a whole sugi about that, remember? It says it's his size. It has to be literally his size. You can't have too short. You can't have too long. And then we had a whole thing. Megizgayas, if you put it, you tuck it into your belt as if you cut it off. Literally, it has to be the right. You can't lift it up. Says the Gemara. This Gemara that says that the Kohanim walked in the blood was only for something like bringing the Emurim to the ramp. The lava voidehi, that's okay. That doesn't pass if they have dirty clothes. It says it's hakrava, it is part of the avodah. So kohen should not be bringing the ivarim to the mizbeach when his clothes are dirty. When he brings the wood to that's what it was. Here we are. This. I didn't even show it last night, I forgot. You see his clothes are dirty, full of blood on the bottom. I love it. Geschmack. That's the eitim to the maracha. That's not an avodah, and that your clothes could be dirty. That's a Gemara. But if there's so much blood, how do they perform the zrika? Says Gemara Azli, for this, I have to remind the Olam that when I was about 19 years old, I went on a trip to Italy. To get to a friend's chasana, we had to go through Germany and then buy some boss suits for cheap, sell them a whole maisa. And then we went to Italy. We went to Venice. And the shock of my life. Just got off the train. I'm standing in the whatever it is there, where you get off the train. I wasn't there for 2 minutes with my friend, and Israeli guy comes over to us and says, "Do you need a place to stay?" And I'm looking at myself, how in the world does this guy know I'm Jewish? I have Shabbos shoes on, I'm wearing my pants and Shabbos shoes and a neon green cap. How in the world does he chap I'm Jewish? I looked at the pictures now, it's like, you might as well just wear a yarmulke the way you looked. Anyway, so we said, yeah, we're actually starving. We didn't eat in 3 days. We forgot Yeshiva Bachram. Didn't bring any food. We thought, you can just walk into the local store and buy a Danish, and there's no Danishes over there. No pizza shops, garnished. Now. First of all, we didn't have money for that. But you think we knew about it? There was no internet. There was nothing. We didn't know. We were looking on the map. Where's the code? B'kitzer, he gave us some pasta, and he gave us a place to sleep. He took from us a little money. And we went to sleep. Like 5, 6 in the morning, he wakes us up. He says, "You hear that? That's the siren. That means you have to leave my house. Because the water is coming up. Once in a while, the water comes up and floods the whole place. Since you don't have the right gear, you have to go. You're going to get stuck here." So we packed up and we left. And I took pictures. I don't know where exactly, but this is what it looks like when that happens in Venice. So they build these stages, these platforms, and you go above the water just comes in. Then you look in the stores over there, the water is in the store. This much water in the store, and people just walk right in the bakery. So everything's above, a certain level. They let the water come in, out, and they wear these boots literally up to their belts. That's normal. If you don't have those boots, forget about it. So that's an Itztaba, and that's what they did in the Beis Hamikdash as well, something like this. They had these Istabas. So over here, they were passing one to the other. AI thought it's some sort of game or something. Look at the first two kind in the front. I don't know what he's doing. It's a magic trick. It's not chatzitza. You mean because why is the staba not chatzitza? Maybe it's part of it. It's part of the.
That's for sure. You can't be as reasonable.
Zars as you can. Zars means to be careful. It doesn't mean fast like that. It's part of the floor. Zok De'eleg Mishnah. Yeah. It is Avanim, yeah, look. These, you can see it's Avanim. Says the Mishnah, these are halachas that we already had. We're doing a little chazara. Let's talk about pigul. We'll do the simplest case without any complications, without adding any parts to it. If a kohen, while performing the first, all the avodas, all 4 avodas, shchita, kabbalah, hoylacha, zrika, thinks in his mind that he's going to eat this animal at a barbecue in a week from now, where you could only eat this animal in 2 days from now. That's it. There's a limit, a 2-day limit. And he thought he's going to eat it in a week, so that creates chutz lazman. He's thinking about eating it outside of its time. It's only allowed for 2 days. He's thinking about eating it for a week, in a week from now. That makes it pigul. It makes it possible. If he would go a step further and actually take a bite out of it, then he would be chayiv kares. If he doesn't take a bite out of it, it's still pigul, it's still possible. So the Mishnah is now going to tell us cases where it's not pigul. One of the cases is if it's, let's say, the kidney, which is edible. People eat it, forget a kidney. Let's say it's a piece of meat, geschmack is steak, but it's supposed to go on the mizbeach. And you're thinking to yourself, you're going to eat that steak, not put it on the mizbeach. You're going to take it home and eat it in a week from now at a barbecue. So it's davar she'ein darkei lechol. Why is it not darkei lechol? Not because it's not edible. We're going to talk a whole sugya about things that are seriously not edible, like the beard of a goat, like a fetus, very not edible. Placenta, so part of it, the shilya, that's the whole sugya. It's maybe somebody could eat it. It's disgusting. So the crap of a bird. We're talking about a real steak here, but since it's supposed to go on the mizbeach, or he thought to himself that he's going to take, instead of eating the steak which you're permitted to eat, I'm going to take that steak and put it onto the mizbeach in 1 week from now. That's also a type of pigul, because not to confuse anybody, but eating is not only human eating is also the mizbeach eating. So by putting meat onto the mizbeach, thinking about putting meat on the mizbeach is also part of pigul. Putting the blood onto the mizbeach in a week from now is also pigul. Kosher. That's not pigul. Pigul is in something that you are supposed to be eating at home, and you thought about eating it at home, but not tomorrow, in a week from now. Reb Lezer Poisel, and Reb Lezer says that creates a psul in the animal. What if he thought to himself he's going to eat less than the shear in all achilas, matzah, and everything? It's kizayis. And he thought that he's going to eat in a week from now. A tiny piece of that. He heard that steak is unbelievable. So he's going to taste it in 1 week from now. Kosher. That's not pigul. Why? Because you have to have a whole shear. Even Rebbe Lezer agrees in that case. That's kosher. We had this halacha a few times. If you want to combine, there are combinations that create pigul, but this is not one of them. Why? Because one of them is to eat, and one of them to put on the mizbeach. They're both achilas, the 2 types of achilas. But one is human consumption, and one is mizbeach consumption. A half a kazayis of one, and a half a kazayis of the other do not combine to one kazayis of pigul kosher. Because human eating and the aktor on the mizbeach do not come together. These are all kefa, any way you want to spell it. It means the sediment. Roitev is the gravy, the juice from you do a good roast. We all had on Yontiv, geschmack and meat. Most of us. On the bottom, there's like a little gravy. That's not meat. Or a full kazayis of the hide of animals. Things that are not meat, not edible so much. Umina alol. Umina atzama is from the bones. Alol would be something like... It's a neck sinew. Here it is. Alol, the red thing. Yeah, gidat saver according to Rashi. Umen agidim just sinews. I'm going to show this. Maybe, Avremi, do me a favor. Maybe shut off the volume. I saw it without volume. I liked it even more without volume. Here. You'll try to remember. Try to understand it without volume. You ready? What are your excuses? It's fun. You schmack. Sign up. Get your free Gemara. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. This might be the first time that there was an inappropriate picture in the background. I didn't even have that. Okay. Kids, the doctor put him on a nice diet of gidim, atzamais. No, it's better with volume. Okay, fine. Uminat lafayim. Lafayim, this lafayim. Chutz l'zmanoi v'chutz l'mkoyim kosher. If he had a thought that he's going to eat it outside the allotted time, outside the allotted place, let's say all the stuff you're supposed to eat in the Beis Hamikdash or in Yerushalayim, and he thought he's going to eat the bones of the animal, the horns of the animal in Bet Shemesh, kosher, that's not pigul. That's not chutz l'mkoyim. Also, all these things, the gravy, the sinews, ve'ein chayavim aleim shum pigul v'noiser. If you left it overnight, you're not over a noiser, which is isser kares v'tamei. And if you yourself are tumming, you eat from it, you're not over. Hashoiches hamugdashim. Now we're moving on to female animal. Says Rashi, mugdashim would be female. Till now we're talking about zevach mugdashim. It's a way to say an akeva. Lechol shlil or shilyo b'chutz, to eat the fetus or the afterbirth outside of its place or time. In other words, you think to yourself, I am going to eat, he's shechting this animal, he thinks to himself, one part of the animal, the fetus, the ubar, I'm going to eat in a week from now. Loi pigel. Why is it not pigel? Says Rashi that the ubar is not part of the animal. We have machlokes throughout Shas whether or not ubar yerech imoy is the fetus like the thigh. How do you say yerech? The thigh of the mother. Here, this is Yoshi did this back in the day. Now it actually moves. Is the fetus the thigh of the mother? The kids are a part of the mother. It's like another aver. So Mamela says, Rashi, no. The Tana over here holds it's not part of the animal. So if you think about something that's not part of the animal, that doesn't create pigul. It was part of the animal. Let's say you said, I want to eat the heart of this cow in 5 days from now. That would be pigul because the heart is part of the animal. But the fetus not. Hamoilek. You do Malika. Malika, let's show Malika again. Sorry. You take the thumbnail, the nail of the thumbnail, it's long, and you go right through the back of, thank you, the back of the neck of the bird, and that's how you, if you do this outside the Beis Hamikdash, that will create a nevela. Inside the Beis Hamikdash, that's how you do it. So while you're doing this, you thought to yourself, lechol beitzeim b'chutz. I'm going to eat the eggs of this pigeon outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Loi pigel. Again, the eggs are not part and parcel of the pigeon. Chalev mugdashim. We're talking about the milk, not the chalev. The chalav of the mugdashim. So again, the female animal has milk. Ubeitzei torim, and the eggs of a pigeon. Ein chayom aleim mishum pigul. There's no pigul. V'noisar, left overnight. V'tomei, and if you are tomei, you eat it, and you drink the milk, you have cereal with the milk of a carbon, you're not chayiv. Omar Rebbe Lazar, says Rebbe Lazar. So this is basically, we have to pay attention now for 10 seconds, because this is the sugya now. Here's the question. If you have a part of the animal, like the fetus inside the animal, and Rebbe Lezer holds it is part of the animal, so what happens if you think that the whole animal is pigul? You're going to eat this entire animal in a week from now. Does it include the fetus, yes or no? Yes, why not? It's in there. But what if you focus on the fetus, and you say, the fetus I'm going to eat in a week from now? Does it include the whole animal? So that's the shayla. Amar Rebbe Lazar. Pigul bazevach. If you think about the larger animal as a whole, nispagel hashlil. So then the fetus itself becomes pigul, because the fetus is inside of it and it includes everything. It would actually include the hair, it would include all these things that we said are not included. Include all the sinews, everything. Beshlil, but if you're talking about that I'm going to eat this fetus which is not edible, it's disgusting right now, and that I want to eat in a week from now, and that's all I'm thinking about. I'm only thinking about one thing out of this whole animal, and it's not an edible part. That doesn't create a pigul for the rest of the animal. Therefore, we continue. Pigul ba'alol. If you're talking about, here we go, the alol, that red line over there, that sinew that goes right through the neck of the bird, which is edible, yeah, it's nice and soft, edible. Nispagla mura. So now you have the crop, which is a very gross thing. It has all this, rotten food that the bird just ate. It's that little stomach thing over there. People don't eat that. But since you made pigul on the edible part of the bird, so it goes, the whole bird becomes pigul. But if you started bimura, if you said that I'm going to eat this crop, this stomach thing, just it, I'm going to eat it in a week from now, it doesn't go to the reverse. It doesn't apply to the rest of the bird. Why? Because it's not edible. Pigul be'emurim. If you thought that you're going to eat the emurim, so I don't have a good, forgot to ask Yoshi, but this is the emurim that we had when it comes to sheep. The aliyah, we're certainly not talking about that now because we're talking about a cow. The kidneys, the yiseres hakaved. So these are things that go on the mizbeach. That's something that's edible for the mizbeach. So if I thought about making these emurim, these parts, pigul, so it would spread to the whole animal. Nispaglu parim. So we're talking about, just as what are we talking about over here? We're talking about these cows that we spoke about in Horius, or we just had Yom Kippur, the par kohen gadol. What do you do with the par kohen gadol? What do you do with it? You burn it. Where do you burn it? Anybody know? Where? What's outside? You burn it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Here, let me see if I have a thing. Right over here. Outside of Yerushalayim. Here's the par. You see the horns over there? And then there's a pile of all the coals and all the leftover ashes from the Mizbech go over there. It's called Beis HaDeshen. It's outside of Yerushalayim. So if I think to myself, I'm going to burn, typically speaking, if I say to myself, I'm going to burn the carbon which needs to be burnt, I'm going to burn it on the Mizbech in a week from now, that would be pigul. Why? Because that's what you do. You burn a carbon on a Mizbech. What if I say I'm going to burn the cow over here, right over here, outside of Yerushalayim, I'm going to burn it. That's not a haktara. That's not one of the things that we call eating. That's not a type of food. It's a type of burning. That's not pigul. So, if the pigul in my mind was, I am going to do this action, I'm going to burn this cow in a week from now, that's not pigul. And therefore it doesn't apply to anything of the cow, not to the imurim garnished. But if I think to myself, I'm going to do the imurim in a week from now, so it spreads to the entire cow, even this part that you typically burn. It's the same idea. Starting from a part that's not edible, it does not spread to the rest of the cow. If you start from a part that's edible, then it spreads to the rest of the cow. So mela pigul beimurim, that's edible for the mizbeach nispaglu parim. So the whole bull becomes pigul. But if you thought that you're going to burn the par over there in this picture in a week, in a month from now, then it doesn't spread to anything. I have to say quick Shalom Aleichem. I know we're running late here. There's a bunch of guests here. Anybody want to say Shalom Aleichem? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Ariel Becker.
Becker. Becker from?
Leiba.
Shalom Aleichem. Who's that guy with you?
My cousin. He lives here.
He lives here. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Ariel. Shalom Aleichem. And you? Sinclair?
Yes.
Shalom Aleichem. From? Gibraltar. We have a chaver over there, no? Huh? They ran out, those guys. Wow. We have cameras outside also. Guys just left. I'm shy guys. I feel bad. Okay. You're getter? Yeah. Shalom Aleichem. When is your brother coming? It's really you're gonna bring him here. So, what's your name? From? Mother Abraham. Relson Greenfield. Shalom Aleichem. Ah, you was here already. All right, Givaldik. Zog the Gemara. All the other. What's your name? From where? Bar Park. Shalom Aleichem. All right. Huh? Oh, what's your name?
Saul the Lurker.
You learned it from?
Hillcrest Queen.
Shalom Aleichem. Nice to meet you. Oh, that's right. I met you a few weeks ago. You were here for a while, no? Or you came back and forth? Back and forth. Okay, I love your son. We all love your son. He's a great guy. What? Oh, what's your name? From where? Also Lakewood. Shalom Aleichem. Okay, Givaldik. Says Gemara. V'shavim lim seilei. So again, he says that if you do pigul on the whole thing, then even a part that's not edible becomes pigul. If you do the pigul on the part that's not edible, it does not spread to the rest. Lim seilei, I have a right to him. V'shavim, there's no machlokes shem chishav achilas parim u'b'seirfasam loy asav loy klum, that if the kohen had a mind that he's going to burn these bulls outside the allotted time in 2 weeks from now, it's nothing. My love, hachisha beimurim nispaglu parim. Chayrai could be medayik. That's because he thought about the bull. But what if he would have thought about the imurim, the parts that go onto the mizbeach, that are not burned outside of Yerushalayim? Then everything would become pigul. So Gemara, nice try. You do make it such. You could make a diuk, but you did it the wrong way. It's not. Again, if you the halach is if you thought about the actual bull, it's not pigul. So we want to say, but if you thought about the imurim, it is for the whole cow. No, it is for the imurim itself. Loi. If you think about the whole cow, 0. But if you think about the imurim become pigul, but only the imurim. Don't try to do Rebbe Eliezer's halacha that it spreads to the rest of the cow. No, the imurim become pigul. Sponsored by Adar Global, specialist in international financial services. Adar Global told me that since they started advertising here, more people actually. Yogi Lashinsky told me he started using them, so that's one person I know. Anonymous, just you become familiar with it. We had a guest, so he asked at the Shabbos table. He says, "Who sponsors the turning of the daf?" So she said, "The wife, Adar Global." He said, "How do you know?" I hear it in the background. My husband listens to the shir in the background. Anonymous says, "It's chus fatzlochin ruchnis." As it's chus fatzlochin ruchnis and gashmius. Anonymous is chus in support of Torah that all tests should come back 100% healthy for me and my family. Toshma. The Amud Amud Beis on top. Paraman Israfim Musrim and Israfim Moalim Behem Mishugdishu. Meila means that if you use something from the Beis Hamikdash without permission, unauthorized usage, you have to pay a fine. You have to pay 25%, and you have to bring a carbon. It's an expensive thing to do. When does that start? From the moment that you say that this bull is for the Beis Hamikdash, for the usage of the Beis Hamikdash. Nishchatu, once the bull is shechted, huchsharu li pasal b'tfil yoyim u'b'mechusar kippurim. Then we know what a tfil yoyim is. We discuss it. We'll say it again. Tfil yoyim is a person who's tamei goes to the mikvah. Once he goes to the mikvah, he's semi-tahar. He has to wait until Erev Shemesh, until nightfall. That period of time, he still has the ability to make things tamei, pasal. If he touches, let's say, truma, kachim, so here's this kachim. He touches this animal, boom, makes it tummy, makes it pasal. Or a person who's, let's say, a zav, he went to the mikvah. It's already nightfall, but he's not completely tar until he brings a carbon. So he's called a mechusar kippurim. He has the ability when he touches to make things pasal. And it also becomes pasal belino. Once you shecht it, if you leave it overnight, it's no good. My love, linas basar. Aren't we talking about the meat? Ushmamina, migi the pasal belina, pasal ba machshava. This is a little bit of a jump. Some of you are not going to like it because you don't understand it 100%. But there's a jump here. We're saying if something becomes pasal because it was left overnight, overnight is a problem with time. There's a time issue here. It went past its allotted time. So Mamela, if you think in your mind about past time. That's what pigul is. You're thinking about eating it past a lot of time. It should also be possible. Says Gemara Loi. Linas imurim. We're not talking about the actual meat. We're talking about the imurim here. As Gemara, I thought about that, and the reason why I thought it's talking about meat is because I wanted to match the end of everything should be consistent. Beis Hadeshin is that place where you burn the bull outside of Yerushalayim. You're over Me'ila, let's say it's raining, and you pick up that bull as it's burning, you pick it up to use as an umbrella. You'd be over Me'ila until it becomes coals, until it becomes nothing. Yutach HaBasar. But it says the word basar, it doesn't say imurim. We're talking about Beis Hadeshin. There's no imurim over there. Basar. Miklad Reish Alina's basar. So to be consistent, then the first part of the mission is also talking about basar. Midiri, who told you? Why? Vasepis. Hakidis. No, the Reish is talking about the imurim. The Sefer is talking about Reish imurim. Sefer basar. Okay. Sometimes the lashon fits in. Sometimes we're talking about two separate cases. This is one of the times that the mission is talking about a case in the Reisha about imurim and the Sefer about basar. What's the rabbi? There are things that never become pigul and they cannot create pigul for something else. Like what? In about 10 seconds, you're going to see on my left, Rabbi Danby is going to jump out of a seat and walk out the door. The hair on the head of a sheep. That beautiful goat beard. The oriv, and the skin, and this is sometimes. No, I'm just thinking this guy. Sometimes he hits it on the nose, and sometimes. Oh, I forgot to show you the video. Okay, I'll show you this. This is that beautiful beard.
So yummy.
השיער שלך נראה כל כך טעים.
Whatever, okay. And that sinew, Vahamura, and the crap, Vahatzomis, Vagidim, Vakarnaim. I just thought it was cool. In Finland, they have all these deers that get killed. You know, the reindeers. They have these massive antlers. They came up with a shtick. If they're able to trap them, they spray their antlers with glow in the dark stuff. So as the cars are coming, so I have a picture. It's crazy. It looks really creepy. Yeah. Imagine you're driving down the highway, all of a sudden you see like the Malach HaMavos coming out of the trees. It's not even like, okay. So if somebody eats, you try to eat this, you cannot do pigul on a horn. You can't say, oh, I'm going to eat this horn in a week from now. That's not pigul, it's not edible. Vatlofayim and the hooves, v'hashlil, and the fetus, v'hashilion, the afterbirth, v'cholav, and the milk, hamugdoshim, that are from the nekeva, u'beitzei torim, and the eggs of the birds, of the pigeons, kulam loy mefaglim, v'loy mispaglim. They themselves don't become pigul, and if you make pigul on them, it doesn't create a pigul to the rest of the animal. There's no, if you leave it overnight, you leave it past a lot of time, you're fine. You don't get a isser for leaving the antler. And if you're tummy, you what?
Pigul means what?
Pigul means that, yeah, if you eat from it, there's no.
If the zevach is pigul, but you eat from these, you're not over there, so pigul.
Why? Why do you say that? Okay, I guess.
Because it said before,
right.
Now we said already.
I hear that even if the whole thing is pigul, the whole animal, this is not. Or eating here, or eating this. Correct. What's mala? If you bring it onto the mizbeach. In your, yeah, I heard he said, Rashi. Pashut, it's so pashut, I didn't have to explain it. No, yishkoyach, thanks. If you take a horn and you bring it into your backyard bama and you bring it up as a ketara, you potter. My love, loy mefaglim hazevach, veloy mispaglim machma zevach. L'chayra means that if you have a thought just on the horn, it doesn't spread to the rest of the animal. And if you had a thought on the animal itself, the horn does not become pigul, or the fetus doesn't become pigul. And that would be a big problem to who? To Rebbe Lezer, who said that if you have a machshav of pigul on the mother animal, it does go to the fetus. Just you can't go from the fetus to the animal. The fetus is not edible, but it's part of that. It's part of the animal, says Rabbi Eliezer. So the Gemara loy mifaglim says zevach. Don't be medayik like that. Say no. If you think about the fetus, pigul fetus, it doesn't spread to the animal. V'loy mispaglim machmas atzmon. If you try to go directly to the fetus and make it pigul, it doesn't become pigul. But if you go to the mother, then it does spread to the fetus, like Rabbi Eliezer. Ihache asked the Gemara, why does it say repeat it twice? That was like basically what you were asking a second ago, like that kind of deal. Why does it say it twice? Why do you need it twice? In other words, if you're telling me that a fetus doesn't become pigul ever, then that's the pshat. It doesn't become pigul when you look at it directly and say you are pigul, and it doesn't become pigul when I look at the mother and say the mother is pigul, and the fetus does not become pigul either. So those are the two. That's why the Brisa says it twice. It doesn't become pigul in both situations. It doesn't become pigul. But if you're telling me that it does become pigul itself, there's only one case. In other words, it becomes pigul when the mother. You do it on the mother, the fetus becomes pigul. But if you do it on the fetus, so that's only once. So why does the Brisa have to say it twice? Ella. So I'll tell you the answer. The answer is me asking you a question. It says it a third time that there's no pigul. Why does it have to say? Hello. The reason why it says it the third time is because it's going on another case of noiser and tameh. So there's also another case here, and that's why I have to say it a second time of bringing an anta bama in your backyard. Rava Omar, and Rava has a raya to Rabbi Eliezer. We learned in our Mishnah. If somebody, while he's shechting the animal, the mother, he's thinking that he's going to eat the fetus outside of its allotted time or place, that's not pigul. And if you had the same thought with the mother pigeon about the eggs, no pigul. And then it says, the milk, what's missing from that line? It seems like that if you go directly to the fetus, you are chayiv. How come it's missing? If you go to the mother, like Rabbi Eliezer says, if you do pigul on the mother, so the fetus is included in the mother, it becomes pigul. But when you look directly at the fetus and you say this is pigul, it's not going to work because it's not edible. Shmamino. It's not awesome. Ubali mumim. So I got to show you this video because some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. There's a murdik video. There's a concept called imalu lo yerdu. Certain animals, certain pieces. You never saw this?
תקשיב לי טוב, אתה צודק, אבל אם כבר עלו, לא ירדו. נשתה בלילה, לא יורד, דם שנשפך, לא יורד, לא יורד, דם שיצא חוץ לקלעים, לא יורד, הלן, לא יורד, יוצא, לא יורד, טמא, לא יורד, נשחט חוץ לזמנו, לא יורד, לא יורד, נשחט חוץ למקומן, לא יורד, פסולים קיבלו וזרקו, לא יורד, ניתנים למעלה שניתן למטה, לא יורד, ניתנים למטה שניתן למעלה, לא יורד, ניתנים בפנים שנתנן בחוץ, לא יורד, ניתנים בחוץ שנתנן בפנים, לא יורד, פסח או חטאת שנשחטו שלא לשמן, לא יורד, אם עלו למזבח, לא ירדו.
Most of the time, im olu lo yerdu. These guys never saw it. Hashem yirachim. So, but if it has a mum, it has to come off. Says Rabbi Akiva, no, I argue. Ubali mumim. Rabbi Akiva machshir bebali mumim. If it has a mum, if it went onto the mizbeach, lo yerdu. They don't come off. Why? But there's two conditions. That's dafka, something like a cataract that doesn't ruin a bird carbon. If a bird has a cataract, you can put it on the mizbeach. Another thing, it has to be that the mum happened afterwards. Because if the mum was before it became hegdish, then it will never become the proper hegdish. It won't become gedushas haguf. It will become gedushas mum and bedek abayis. If this animal is in a keva, The command, the kadamuma, there's a lot. The women that are watching now, I gotta explain, because they might get slightly insulted. The Gemara is saying that if you put a female animal on the mizbeach, to be a female is a mum. Yes, and to be a male is a mum if you're supposed to put a female on the mizbeach. You know, it's not a mum to be a female. It means, in this case, a oila can only be a zachar. Slowly, let me say it slowly. A noila must be a zachar. If you put a nekeva on, so for this particular carbon, it's a mum. Chas v'shalom, women are not a mum. I could just see the emails now. And if it's supposed to be a chatos, it's supposed to be a nekeva, and you put a zachar on, that is a mum. A zachar in that case is a mum. But guess when this mum was created? It was created from the day it was born, unless you live like in America, and that's a different thing. They could change it later on. The Rekiva agrees. Should we stop over here? No, we can't. Most of Reb Zera, yeah, I should have stopped him, but it's already at 10. Hold on. What do we have here? We have 58 minutes. We have 2 minutes. Rabbi, we have 2 minutes. Hold on. If you take a fetus and you put it outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you potter hameimon chayev. Mashma that if you take the mother itself, the mother of the fetus, only if you put the fetus outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you potter. The mother, you be chayev. Now, the only hechatims I can find is ba'olas in the keva, if the mother is a oila. Because there are other korbanos that are nekevas, like shlamim and achatos, but the meat is not something you put on the mizbeach. The meat is something that you eat yourself. If you hold like Rabbi Kiva, if you said that the pshat in Rabbi Kiva is that once it goes in the mizbeach, it doesn't come off. So I have a situation where you have a oilas nekeva, which is not supposed to be, but you leave it there. So you have meat that goes on the mizbeach. But if you hold that by a oila, nekeva, you have to take it off the mizbeach. Hamani, we don't have a single man omar or a single type of meat that goes on the mizbeach and stays on the mizbeach. Ema hamalam and bechutz patur hameimurei iman chayav. No, we're talking about the imurim of the mother. In other words, we're talking about a chatas and a shlamim, not a oila. We're talking about the meat of the fetus, and the mother is similar to that. So we're talking about the meat, not the imurim. Ela Ema, says the Gemara, Hamalam Eimureim b'chutz patur. We're talking about the imurim of the fetus. Hameimurei iman chayev. But from the imurim of the mother, you are chayev. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.